Hey, how are you doing, girl? It's your dad, Miguel. So it's the 6th of August, 2019. I hope you're doing well. Um, wow, I'm feeling a little bit tired today. I didn't get a whole heck of a lot of sleep last night, but that was because I think I was surfing the internet. It wasn't because I was doing anything super duper fun or anything like that. Although I must say that surfing the internet can be amazing. You know, sometimes I think about the future and what the future holds, and I have a sense that we're pretty much going to be on the internet 24/7, 100% of the time, probably in less than 5 years. Maybe less than 10 years. I have a feeling that we'll just be 100% connected all the time. There just will not be any time that we're not on the internet. It'll be like ATM machines, where we can't imagine being without the ATM machine today. Um, we can't imagine how people lived without them 25 years ago. And I think the same will be true with the internet. Um, we will somehow figure out a way to get the internet into our brains. I don't know how. Maybe we will wear contact lenses with television screens on them, or maybe we will wear glasses or helmets or something like that. Perhaps we'll have like hearing aids that will constantly be whispering internet information into our ears. I think there's going to be a very strong visual component to it, so I'm really not sure how that's going to work. Another idea might be that the lenses in our eyes, we may just replace them with television screens, with computer screens. I know that technology exists today. People are replacing the lenses in their eyes. There's a crystalline lens inside everyone's eyeball, and I can see it somehow being replaced by some kind of LCD screen, something like that. Um, or another idea is that we will literally put another screen inside of our eyes and inside of our eyeball that doesn't affect our vision at all. Perhaps it might augment our vision, and it will cast an image on our directly onto our retina, something like that. I don't quite know how that's all going to work. There's another option. We might just install a USB port into our brains. That could work too. Another possibility is that we'll strap something to our bodies and we'll use some kind of tactile communication device that sort of pokes us, in a high resolution way on our skin. And somehow that'll just become a new kind of visual input system. I don't quite know how we're going to do it. Maybe it'll be something that we wear, something like watches that we wear. Maybe, or maybe it'll be a flap that's on our foreheads, and it'll flap down, it'll flap up when it's done. When we're done with our surfing, I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Maybe we'll wear helmets. Maybe we'll just make every flat surface in our external reality a kind of web browser. Um, every desk, every cabinet, every wall, every door is a kind of interface device. I'm not sure how it'll work, but I'm 100% certain that it will work because there's nothing better than internet except for more internet. In fact, our brain will probably sort of start setting aside neurons just for internet activity. Yeah. It's like cotton candy for the brain. Serious. Um, so, uh, I hope you enjoyed my presentation, my analysis about um, Emily Bronte's book, Wuthering Heights. I am thinking about watching the movie Great Expectations. There actually have been quite a number of versions of the movie Great Expectations that has come out, and I'm asking myself, what version do I want to review? I think there was a pretty early version of Great Expectations that came out a long time ago. I'll have to figure out which one is the most sort of accepted as an authentic retelling of the Charles Dickens story. So it might take some research on my part to decide what Great Expectations movie to watch. Of course, another option is just to read the book, Great Expectations. I'm not sure I'm prepared to do that. Of course, I could probably listen to the audiobook. And let me tell you why that is. Why aren't I prepared to read Great Expectations? Okay. Well, first of all, it's rather slow. Um, I don't know. Maybe I will read it. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, that's for sure. Um, but I think I'll have to read this story only after I come back from. I've got a small vacation plan. I'll be going to my 30-year high school reunion that's coming up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was thinking the other day that this road trip I'm going to be taking to my 30-year high school reunion would have been a great opportunity for you to come along with me and visit with your relatives in New Mexico. And I am feeling a little sad that we're not going together. Um, but you get to enjoy your time here in Lompoc. Hooray! While I'm away. What an amazing time that will be. I am, however, looking forward to the road trip. We'll see how I choose to spend my time in my travels. I'm still deciding what places I might want to visit, if any. Um, what is intriguing to me is what my mind seems to continually focus on is this idea about it being 14 hours away. That's easily 2 days of driving, let me tell you. 14 hours, man. Now, I believe that I have done 14 hours of driving in one day. I've done it before. I used to do it in my youth. It was quite a trek. Um, I'm not sure it's even worth it to do the whole thing in one day. So basically, that would mean a true 14-hour day would be a day where I left at 6 a.m. and I arrived at 8 a.m. I wonder if that's even feasible. I guess I could do it. Why would I want to do anything like that? Really, it's about the brain, right? This whole question is about the brain and what's possible for our brain. Can you, I mean, can one even imagine doing that? I can. Truckers do it all the time. Maybe not legally qualified truckers, but people who enjoy driving probably do it all the time. Um, 14 hours, man. I'm just thinking to myself that if that's even a feasible kind of thing to do. I don't think it is. I don't think it's feasible. Now, 7 hours I can do. 14 hours, I'm not sure. No. No, I don't think I can do that. I could do it if I had to. If I really, really had to, but I can't think of any good reason why I would want to do that. In the past, I have gone to a lot of interesting places on road trips like that. For example, you know, there are a number of like national forests and state parks and things like that along the way. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm really interested in any of those places anymore like I used to be. What I could do is I could turn it into an adventure, some kind of like a scavenger hunt. Maybe what I could do is I could go from city to city checking out the varieties of apples that are sold in stores. Totally. That sounds like fun. Or maybe I can go from city to city checking out the gyms. I don't know. Or maybe I could go from city to city checking out the swimming pools or the libraries. Mm, that's kind of interesting. Or checking out the universities. Mm, mm. Or maybe figuring out where the hiking trails are. Or maybe there are hot springs here and there. That might be interesting. I don't know. As you can see, I'm still sort of figuring out how I can make this trip interesting and entertaining and valuable and stimulating. Again, I'm not sure how valuable I'm wanting to make this trip, or at least the drive. Let's see what's going on with me. Well, um, I purchased an interesting book yesterday, and the book is titled "Ask Outrageously." What a fantastic title for a book! I know. Ask Outrageously. And I've been listening to the audiobook here and there over the last 12 hours or so. I haven't completed the audiobook, but I'm liking the book because I appreciate the intention behind it. And I know it's a place where I really want to focus. Sometimes a problem can be solved just by asking the right question. Sometimes a problem can be solved just by stating an observation about what's happening. Other people will step in and want to solve your problem. I do that all the time. I just lay down a certain observation, though I might make a few simple requests like, how would you like to handle this? Or what works for you? And that open question usually starts the conversation flowing. And then the solution is rather quickly identified. I like this idea of asking questions, though, and asking powerful questions because, well, for a lot of reasons. First of all, I think it's expresses a person's. It is a vulnerable expression to make a request. It's vulnerable because whoever you're asking might say no, or even might say yes. You know, you're basically setting up a point where a risk is being taken, right? It's about planning for the future, and what I think part of what makes that question vulnerable is you basically don't know what the other person's response will be to a question. You know, depending on another person's view or perspective, you could get lots of different kinds of answers. You could get no answer. You get a yes, no, or I don't know, or um, and you know what? It may not even be. You may even get some kind of answer where the answer isn't even clear. You may get an answer to a question that you didn't ask. In a way, it's asking a question is like testing the waters, right? It's like figuring out what's happening, what's going on, what's on people's minds. And it's really there's really no way to tell quite often. I think frequently there are surprises. Human beings, if they're anything at all, they are like surprise machines. They're just so complex. It's hard to tell what's going on inside sometimes, but not always. Sometimes it's quite easy to figure out what's going on. Sometimes I can predict an answer. And I would guess that, human brains are pretty good at predicting the future, I think. We're probably 30, 40% good. We can figure out say a general trend of how things are going and extrapolate from there, from that trend. And we're pretty good extrapolators. We've had a lot of practice. That's what, we spend a lot human beings spend a lot of time attempting to predict the future. We use our imaginations as tools to figure out what the next step is. And we do that for ourselves and for others and for the world. And we're continuously figuring out, well, we're asking ourselves, how might the other person view this question? In fact, an answer to that question might determine whether we ask a question at all. Yeah. So anyway, I am looking forward to my 30-year high school reunion. I hope a lot of people show up because I really do want to check up on folks and see what's going on with them and where they are. Thankfully, Facebook exists. One of my favorite pieces of software. So that for a lot of people, particularly important people in my life, I kind of know what's going on with them. So that's good. But I am kind of interested in, like, there are a few people who, um, after they graduated high school, sort of moved far, far away. Like I have a friend, Julie Dunnigan. She lives in New York City now, which is far away. It's across the country. I live in California. And I kind of hope that she shows up so that I can find out what's going on with her. Because I literally have not seen her in 30 years. I wondered how she's the same person and how she's different. And really quite curious about that. Then there are people who haven't moved at all. We're basically still the same. In almost every way. It's pretty funny. It's amazing to think that 30 years has already gone by. Maybe not. A lot of time has transpired between graduation and now. I think it's amazing that we can even get together. I mean, that's crazy. Somehow there are strings that connect us and that we can tug, right? And then draw everyone close together. Somehow we're connected in this world of mass communications, electronic technology. Somehow we can all plan and make, sort of make arrangements to speak to one another again. It's pretty amazing. And I wonder what our lives are going to be like to even 10 years from today. Our 40-year high school reunion. That would be that's going to be amazing. I know. I know. People are funny. I am actually quite glad that human beings live such a long time. I mean, our lifespan, maybe it's 70, 80 years. For some, it's 90. For still others, it's a little longer, very small minority. Um, but that's pretty good. That's a pretty sizable life duration. There are a lot of animals that don't live very long, you know, dogs, right? Cats, rats, grasshoppers, mayflies. They just don't live very long. There are animals that live a mere 24 hours, and that's their normal life cycle. That is a tragedy. It's kind of funny. I really don't feel that old. I feel like 25 years old, maybe. I feel a little older since I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Well, anyway, I guess I'm going to make some preparations and get ready for my day. I want to let you know, as always, that I love you very much, and that you know I'm focused on your well-being. I have an interest in making contributions to your life. I have an interest in supporting you in any way that I can, financially, emotionally, academically. I know you find that hard to believe, or I'm guessing you might find that hard to believe. Could it be possible? Yeah, it can be possible. There's a lot that's possible. It's funny how much potential there is in the world between people that never gets expressed. It's sort of like the everyday tragedy where we spend our wealth, that is our time and energy, in ways that are less than optimal sometimes. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna say goodbye, and I hope things go well for you today and for the rest of the week. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be traveling a little bit, so I'll do my best to send a few postcards if I can remember. And I hope you enjoy your weekend. This is the last week before school begins. I know, because I've got school starting soon. I've got my photography class starting. Definitely looking forward to that class. I've got my textbook there on the dining room table, and I'm itching to take a look at it and start reading the content so I can learn about how to take amazing photographs. That's actually something I could do. I could take my camera along with me and take photographs while on the road. Hmm. I'll have to consider that one. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye, love.